Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Unbound, the show where we dive deep into the headlines, unpack the chaos, and ask the questions everyone else is too afraid to ask. I'm Jey Morales, and with me tonight is my co-host, Revelation, and special guest, Dab Don Zimmer 10. What's up, guys? How we doing? Happy Monday.
Good evening, good evening, good evening.
Is everyone doing in chat and the future listeners who will be joining us?
Hell yeah, hell yeah. We already have a few in here tonight. We got six view seven now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another beautiful
Welcome,
episode
welcome, welcome.
and happy holidays and Merry Christmas this month. Tonight, we've got a jam-packed lineup from U.S. Maritime strikes sparking political and human rights controversy to Vladimir Putin's high-stakes visit to India, stalled Ukraine peace talks, and President Trump stirring debate with remarks on Somali immigrants. We'll break down global markets rallying. On the rate cut expectations, the worsening air quality crisis in Hanoi and Dubai, a rare geomagnetic storm lighting up northern skies, and the holiday streaming boom dominating December. Plus, not please, plus, we'll be talking about International Day of Persons with Disability today, so stay tuned because we're unpacking it and giving you the analysis and the debates and questions you won't hear anywhere else. I know that we will be having a major discussion today on oh my God, what was it again, Deb? We're gonna be talking later in the episode about the USS Gerald. Am I right? I'm gonna leave you on
Yes,
that so you can
yes,
give a little bit
yes.
of a little tease there.
So basically, we're gonna be discussing a little more in depth as to why, as to the as to possible reasons to as to why Venezuelan airspace has all been sudden been labeled as basically a no-fly zone. Um, uh, and we're also gonna be talking about kind of uh, from like because I've spoke to a couple of my Navy buddies and that are still in um and there's been from what I understand is things are a little bit different from the way we used to operate with carriers. Um, so we're gonna kind of dig into that a little more, um, and we'll just discuss this as to kind of as to what's going on basically in Venezuela and why things are so hot and heavy, if that makes sense, guys.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Things that we'll be touching later this in the episode, ladies and gentlemen. I know that our good friend Revelation will also will be bringing things to the table as we go along tonight. Uh, let's dive right in it. U.S. maritime strikes spark political, diplomatic, and human rights controversy. Um, I just noticed I'm not wearing my normal glasses tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, honestly, both of them are prescription glasses, and you know, but this light in front of me bothers the heck out of me. I want to give a quick shout out to those who are already here. Ray RMR, what's going on, man? JoJo Pro, Red Rum Live, what's going on? Red Rum Live, actually, it's one of our sponsors of this show as well. They are coordinating and working with Velocity Modern Classics, ladies and gentlemen. So don't miss out on that. We'll be talking about that very soon. We're going to get some pictures in. They're working right now on a Post Malone vehicle. Red Rum, if you can do me the courtesy of sending me what the vehicle is again. I kind of lost the information on that I had on a notebook. So if you can send me that again, that'll be greatly appreciated. Now, moving along now. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is facing growing scrutiny after the U.S. military strikes targeted 4 suspected drug-carrying vessels in the Eastern Pacific. Originally described as a tactical counter narcotics operation, the strikes have escalated into major political, diplomatic, and human rights controversy, drawing attention from lawmakers, international partners, and civil society organizations. The operation carried out late Tuesday involved 2 Navy destroyers, a Coast Guard cutter, an aerial surveillance asset, including an MK-9 drone. Sorry, not NK, MQ-9 drone. According to Pentagon briefings, the vessel had been under surveillance for 72 hours, with intelligence suggesting involvement in transnational narcotics trafficking. The monitored ships reportedly exhibited behaviors typical of cartel operations, such as irregular navigation, transponder deactivation, and mid-route rendezvous. Rendezvous. I think it's rendezvous. Um, Officials confirmed that all 4 vessels were destroyed and several crew members were detained. Pentagon spokespersons defended Secretary Hegseth's actions, stating the intelligence pictures suggested a high probability threat. The strikes were measured, precise, and necessary. However, reports indicate that at least one of the vessels may have been carrying mixed civilian cargo, raising questions about the sufficiency and accuracy of pre-strike intelligence. Lawmakers from both parties have requested a classified briefing to determine whether proper protocols were followed. Human rights organizations and foreign governments have criticized the operation, emphasizing that maritime interdiction must prioritize civilian safety and transparency. Regional allies expressed concern that unilateral U.S. action could undermine decades of cooperative anti-narcotics efforts. The controversy intensified when the family of 28-year-old Colombian Luis Alejandro Caldenas, killed during the strike, filed a formal human rights petition with the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights. That's the IACHR. The family maintains that Cardenas was a civilian deckhand hired for routine coastal transport and not involved in trafficking. Through their attorney, the family has demanded a full independent investigation, the release of surveillance footage and targeting criteria, reparations, and a public acknowledgement of wrongdoing. While the Colombian government has requested additional information from Washington, it has refrained from issuing a formal condemnation. Nevertheless, the incident has become politically sensitive in Bogota, with positions lawmakers questioning U.S. Operations near Colombian waters. The Pentagon acknowledged the human rights petition but declined to comment on operation specifics, citing Re, uh, ongoing reviews. Sorry about that. Sources indicate that individual crew members were not identified prior. What's going on here? Sorry, one second. Okay. Um, where was I here? I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Sources indicate that individuals, crew members, were not identified prior to the strike, a detail that may heighten scrutiny. Defense analysts say internal discussion focused on whether available intelligence met the certainty threshold required for a kinetic action. Some experts suggest the incident highlight tensions between an aggressive interdiction doctrine and protocols designed to protect civilians. International watchdog groups have amplified the family claims, describing the strike as potential violation of proportionality and humanitarian norms. A Latin American human rights coalition argued that U.S. counter narcotics operations need stronger safeguards, particularly when targeting vessels outside active combat zones. Um, Here's the ending discussion questions here. Um, Hopefully, the docket team did this correctly today because docket team had a rush on all these things. So let's see here. What we got here now, they're calling it an analyst, an analysis, and end of article discussion. Okay, this is what we're touching now. Intelligence and operation adequacy. Experts debate whether intelligence was conclusive enough to justify strikes. The presence of civilian cargo raises questions about pre-strike verification, procedures, and decisive making protocols. Second, impact on international relations. Regional governments are requesting clarify, and the Colombian petition to the IACHR highlights the diplomatic consequences of extraterritorial action. Trust and cooperation could be a risk of if transparency is not improved. Number three, civilian safety and legal norms. The death of Cardenas underscores potential weakness in current U.S. rules for civilians verification, raising broader human rights concerns in maritime interdiction operations. And then number four, political and leadership implications. Secretary Hegseth and the administration face growing pressure, on multiple fronts. Congressional scrutiny, sorry about that, public backlash, diplomatic tensions, and legal challenges, making this incident a defining test of leadership, national security policy, and public accountability. So, not a lot of questions from those. It's just the analysis. I actually don't have much questions on these today. I think docket team might have went with analysis and discussion of the articles tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So we will be just discussing then at the end now. What do you guys think? Let us always know in the comment section as well. You boys there?
Wait, well, yeah. What's going
I'm
on?
gonna let Devin take this one.
Yeah. Devin, did you understand anything I said?
No, I didn't.
Oh
Oh
man.
my.
Well, by
Grant, start help me out here.
well,
Help
help.
me out here.
So now the family of one of the person that got bombed on September the 2nd. His name was Luis Alejandro Cardenas. Was killed during the strike and filed a formal human rights petition with the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights. The family maintains that Cardenas was a civilian deckhand hired for routine coastal transport and not involved in trafficking. Now, I want to hear your opinion about, do you think that Pete Hegseth, Secretary of Defense, knew about the situation and didn't give a fuck? Oh, sorry, I shouldn't even say the F word because, by the way, boys, we're going to have problems monetizing all 30 of these episodes. because we can't drop the F bomb so much. So we have to keep it a little lighter. We can drop the word shit, damn, and all that, but let's try to take a step
So
back on the F
okay,
word.
I'm gonna kind of. So I'm sure. Okay, whether old boy knew that the shit that he was working on was trafficking or not, if he was on a ship that was trafficking illegal substances, at that point he is guilty by association. I mean, does it suck that somebody lost a family member? Yeah. But maybe he should have done his research on exactly who he was working for. I mean, it sucks. Like, people are evil. People have people will use businesses to cover up illegal shit. I mean, it happens all the time. It's called money laundering.
Right.
And like, so I mean, has the after action battle damage assessment report been released for that attack yet, for that scenario yet? Probably
I don't
not.
believe
So
so.
and like once we get a, if they decide to release an after action report battle or an after action battle damage assessment report and connect, and there if and you know it's either gonna it's gonna say whether or not there were substances on that boat that got hit. So I'm not gonna sit here, like, I'm not trying to sit here and justify that the military's actions were okay. But at the same time, at this point, we are in a full blown. This is a full blown war on fucking narcotics. Not not drugs, narcotics. There's a difference.
Right.
Um. So
I finally got the questions here. Docket team fixed it up. But I liked everything you said, so we don't have to ask these questions if you don't want me to ask them. But I like what you said.
I mean, either way.
Either way, okay, this is what we got here. So comprehension, fact based, right? What types of
Mm-hmm.
U.S. military assets were involved in the strikes on the suspected drug carrying vessel in the Eastern Pacific?
Uh,
That's a good question. I didn't even have the answers to this. Docket team, what are you doing?
we. I know we used anti harp or the harpoon anti ship missiles for one. I'm pretty sure. Um, we probably hit him with one of
It
those,
was like
and then
MQ-9, it says here. MQ-9 drones. So they had the
yeah,
strikes involved two Navy destroyers, a Coast Guard cutter, and aerial surveillance assets, including an MQ-9 drones.
yeah. That tells me that there was some sort of anti ship weapon was used. So I mean, it's kind of like that's like, until we can find an actual, like I said, until we find an actual after action battle damage assessment report, we aren't gonna know exactly what went down and exactly you, you know what was on the vessel that was hit, what munition was used, how many hits the sunken vessel took before it sank. Um, there's gonna be, I mean, Like I said, this is a full blown war on narcotics, fentanyl, meth or amphetamines, crack, heroin, all the poisonous shit that's going around killing people, and it's been killing American people for fucking 100 years now. We finally have a president that's like we finally have a president and a fucking secretary of defense that's like, nah, fuck this shit. And excuse my language, I apologize, but that's that's what we voted for. That's what I've at least that's what I voted for. I don't know about everybody in chat, but that's what I damn sure voted for. Uh, like so. I mean, we can. I mean, are there better ways of engagement without the loss of like you know like are there ways to neutralize a vessel without loss of life? Yes, but depending on what that vessel was carrying, probably didn't matter. Type deal. So
Probably not. But moving along to the next segment, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna give you a quick ad here. This portion of the show is always brought to you by the Cavell Hotel and Tavern, located down in Klein-Feltersville, Pennsylvania. They're open from Wednesday to Sunday, so they were open today, ladies and gentlemen, from 4 to 9, Thursday 4 to 9, Friday 4 to 10, Saturday 12 to 10, and Sunday 12 to 8. They're located down in 2647 Heidelberg Avenue, Klein-Feltersville, Pennsylvania 17039, and their phone number is 717-949-8413. Ladies and gentlemen, go down and visit Seth and Jamie at the Cavell. They'll treat you like family, and the food is always great. It feels like home down there. So make sure that you go down and you visit Seth and Jamie at the Cavell Hotel and Tavern. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move back to our next topic. Vladimir Putin visits India. Energy. They're going to be talking about energy defense and global diplomacy in focus. Russian President Vladimir Putin arrived in India today for a high-profile visit aimed at strengthening bilateral ties uh, in energy, defense, and global diplomacy. The trip comes amid shifting geopolitical alliances and ongoing tension in Eastern Europe and the Indo Pacific, highlighting India's strategic balancing act between major powers. Energy cooperation is at the forefront of the agenda. Officials from both nations are reportedly negotiating expanded long-term oil and gas supply agreements. Discussions focus on increasing crude oil exports, from Russia to India at preferential rates. Developing liquefied natural gas (LNG) infrastructure, and exploring joint investments in renewable energy projects and nuclear power technology. Analysts note that India, the world's third largest energy consumer, is seeking to diversify its energy sources, while Russia aims to stabilize revenues and mitigate the impact of Western sanction on its energy sector. Defense ties are also expected to take center stage. India remains one of the Russia's largest armed clients. The in talks reportedly include the continued procurement of advanced fighter jets, helicopters, and naval vessels, as well as a joint development program in missile technology and defense systems. Military training changes and cybersecurity collaboration are also on the table. Defense analysis suggests that these agreements could reinforce India's strategic autonomy uh, autonomy while providing Russia with a reliable partner amid increasing global isolation. Beyond bilateral agreement, the visit carries significant symbolic weight in global diplomacy. Putin's engagement with India leadership is viewed as a signal to Western powers, particularly the United States and the European Union, regarding Russia's continued international uh, relevance. Indian officials emphasized the country's commitment to non-alignment in multipolar diplomacy, indicating that New Delhi intends to maintain balanced relations with both Russia and Western partners. Observers note that this visit coincides with broader Russian efforts to strengthen ties with BRICS nation and other emerging market economies. Economic experts suggest that deeper energy and defense cooperation could stabilize Russian revenues under sanctions to bolster India's energy security, and influence regional power dynamics in the Indo-Pacific. At the same time, political analysts caution that closer engagement with Russia may draw scrutiny from Western allies concerned about sanctions, compliance, and regional security, highlighting the complex strategic calculations underlying this high profile visit. Now we're going to move over to the ending discussion questions here. What are the main areas of the focus during Vladimir Putin's visit to India? We already know that they're going in for energy and global diplomacy. Um,
Energy security and global diplomacy.
yep. Why is energy cooperation between Russia and India particularly important for both countries at the same time? Uh, how does Putin's visit reflect India's approach to global diplomacy, its relationship with major powers? What potential challenges could India face by deepening defense and energy ties with Russia, considering its relations with Western countries? Sorry about that. Putin's visit is also a calculated signal to the world, demonstrating that Russia remains engaged internationally despite Western sanctions and ongoing geopolitical changes. As always, ladies and gentlemen, let us know in the comment section what you think. Why is energy cooperation between Russia and India particularly important for countries at this time? What do you guys think?
Well, one, because Russia is so Russia's economy is so in the dirt right now because of the fucking Ukraine war
Yeah,
that they need something to, like, as a fallback plan to start rebuilding the economy that they've their economy that they've willingly destroyed by going to war with a third world country that kicked their ass.
right.
So for Russia, it's a matter of resource. Now, for India, India doesn't have a very strong military. So they're looking at it as a way to be able to get their hands, like, on a trade deal to be able to bolster said military, which I completely understand and is completely smart. So, like, you can't really fault India for that.
Right.
You can't really fault Russia for being desperate enough to, because, like you were saying, we've sanctioned we've sanctioned Russia so far to the fucking moon and back. God dang it! Excuse my language.
We'll get better.
That, like, there's literally almost nothing Russia can do. They have no trade inbound or outbound from us. Uh, they have, and other NATO countries have also quit trading with Russia. So a lot of their trade revenue is out the window. Their economy without trade suffers because they don't really they're a communist country. So, I mean,
Rev, you got anything?
No, he's doing fine. Yeah,
Ah.
he really is.
All right, so moving on to the next question. How does Putin's visit reflect India's approach to global diplomacy and its relationship with major powers? I think you already answered that. I don't know if you did.
I mean, so this kind of ties into my last answer. Um, India has always been a really like India doesn't really have a strong military, so they're not really looking to try to start a fight with one particular side. They're not trying to fucking start a fight with NATO, but they're also not trying to start a fight with Russia. So they're looking at this as a potential opportunity as some sort of trade deal to, like I said, bolster their military. Um, but it also shows that there is at least one country in this world that doesn't want war, that just wants peace, and wait. So I mean, it's kind of the like, okay, we're willing to help you, but we're not like teaming up with you type deal.
The short of it is Putin is in need. He's grasping at straws, going to countries that he'll think is going to help him, and they're offering their services in return for something. And he's like, "Oh, hey, sorry, we can't give that to you at this current moment." And they're like, "Well, fuck you then. We don't want to go to war unless you're willing to give you something. And since you can't supply it, we're not going to help you out. So fuck off."
Basically,
And then the next question, what potential challenges could India face by deepening defenses and energy ties with Russia, considering its relations with Western countries?
Well, they've already been sanctioned by us extremely before even Putin approached them, and considering we get like I want to say 70 or 80% of all of our pharmaceuticals from them, and we pretty much like 120% fucking uh, put tariffs on them. Um, it already showed that we don't give two fucks about anything that they decide to send us. So it's like, okay, you wanna do some stupid shit? Well, go right ahead. This is what's gonna happen to you. So, and that was just over like them trying to buy planes so from Russia. So if now they want to even attempt to align themselves with Russia, well, that's going to be even worse. Because I mean, even China doesn't want to align themselves with Russia. They just told them to go fuck right off.
With a big ass F. Fuck right off.
Yeah,
Anyway,
an English F too, not a fucking Russian or Chinese F. No, straight up English F, so it was universally understood.
ladies and gentlemen, I'm so sorry for dropping all these F bombs this evening. We're going to move now along to the next segment, ladies and gentlemen. No peace deal yet for the U.S. Russia. Sorry. No peace deal yet. U.S. Russia talks on Ukraine stall. All right. Efforts to negotiate a peace settlement in Ukraine between the United States and Russia have stalled, with officials on both sides citing deep divisions over territorial control, security guarantees, and economic sanctions. Moscow continues to press claims over regions of eastern Ukraine, while while Kyiv demands full sovereignty and the return of all occupied territories. The United States and NATO allies are pressing for guarantees that Ukraine will not face further aggression, while Russia seeks sanctions relief contingent on legally binding restrictions on NATO expansion. Negotiations met virtually earlier this week, but no breakthrough emerged. U.S. officials described the discussion as constructive yet challenging, noting that both sides remain far apart on fundamental issues. Meanwhile, fighting continues along the front lines in the Donetsk and Luhansk regions, resulting in mounting civilian casualties, widespread displacement, and destruction of essential infrastructure. The United Nations has urged immediate de escalation, warning that prolonged conflict could destabilize the broader region. Global leaders have expressed concern over the stalled negotiations, while European Union officials emphasized the importance of sustaining support for Ukraine alongside diplomatic pressure on Russia. Analysts caution that prolonged stalemates may embolden hardline positions on both sides, reducing reducing the likelihood of a rapid resolution and potentially allowing other global powers to exploit the instability for strategic advantage. Um, the consequences of the stalemate are far reaching. Humanitarian conditions continue to deteriorate. NATO and its allies face increased security challenges, and strategic calculations are becoming more complex. Civilians remain on the front lines of the conflict, bearing the brunt of continued hostilities, while policymakers navigate the delicate balance between defensive measures, sanctions, and diplomatic agreement. The stalled talks underscores the fragility of international diplomacy and the difficulty of achieving compromise when fundamental security and territorial issues are at stake. Moving forward, creative, sustained efforts are required to reopen dialogue, protect civilian populations, and prevent the conflict from evolving into a prolonged regional crisis. Now we're gonna move on to our ending discussion questions about this. Why have the peace talks between the U.S. and Russia stalled? How can civilian in Ukraine affected by the stalled negotiation? What are the implications for NATO and European security? How might renewed diplomatic strategies help restart negotiation? Now, let us know in the comment section, as always, ladies and gentlemen. What do you think, guys?
I'm gonna be brutally honest here right now. Um,
Cool it down on the
Poland
F
just needs to
bombs. I
um
got you.
Poland just needs to uh false flag these guys so that the UN can Article 5 and just completely invade. Because Russia's never going to do a peace deal that is good for anybody. Because I'm sorry, they don't deserve any of that land. It wasn't a justifiable war, which i for them to get land, they have to formally declare war, and any land that they can claim at that point in time would be theirs at the end of a peace deal. But since it's not a formal war, they cannot claim any of that land in a peace deal. So in the peace deal, Ukraine is right. All that land is theirs. So, like I said, Poland just needs to fucking, or sorry, Poland just needs to false flag them. You know, oopsie daisy. Some Russian dudes came in. They blew up a building, like a police building or something. And a couple police officers engaged them, killed them, and oh, uh, well, Poland, you know what that means, since they were Russian soldiers and they destroyed some, government building in your, place. Guess that means it's war now. Boom, all of the UN now attacks them, or all of NATO now attacks them, I should say, which is literally the last thing, and what Putin has been avoiding this whole time, because he knows at that point he has lost the war. He's barely been able to hold Ukraine. Now with the combined might, if that happens, of NATO attacking, I'd give it 2 months if he's able to hold out. 3 if he finds an ally, which at that point nobody even is going to touch that.
Right. Uh which answer that you even answer? Hey, hey. Uh,
I dude, that was all of them.
that was all of them, ladies and gentlemen. Did you have
Yeah,
anything
that
else?
that covered all of them.
You have anything else, Deb?
No.
All right, we're moving along now. Moving along. Backlash over President Trump's remark on Somali immigrants sparked debate. President Donald Trump's recent remarks regarding Somali immigrants in the United States have ignited widespread controversy and sparked renewed debates over both immigration rhetoric and policy. Speaking at a political rally, Trump made statements criticizing Somali immigrants, prompting backlash from civil rights organizations, community leaders, and several lawmakers who described the comments as inflammatory, discriminatory, and harmful to social cohesion. The Somali American community, which has significant populations in cities like Minneapolis and Columbus, expressed concerns that the rhetoric could exacerbate existing stereotypes and contribute to marginalization, discrimination, and even hate crimes. Local leaders emphasized the importance of supporting integration programs, cultural initiatives, and educational opportunities to promote inclusion and counter negative perceptions. Advocacy groups highlighted that political statements targeting immigrants' communities can influence media narratives, public attitudes, and policy debates. Sorry about that. Potentially shaping the broader environment in which immigrants live and work. Supporters of the president defend the remarks as part of a larger discussion on immigration policy, border security, and community integration challenges. Analysts note that debates over immigration rhetoric often intersect with practical policy questions, including refugee resettlement programs, visa regulations, and access to public services. The controversy illustrates how political language can have tangible impacts on vulnerable populations, influencing perceptions, policymaking, and civic engagement. Media coverage of the incident has also prompted broader conversations about the role of leaders in fostering. Man, what the heck? I haven't even drank anything. um, Sorry about that. About the role of the leaders in fostering inclusive discourse, the responsibilities of journalists in contextualizing statements, and the need for fact based reporting to counter misinformation. Civic organizations and policymakers are calling for constructive dialogue and policy solutions that balance public safety, humanitarian obligations, and social integration without resorting to demeaning or divi- divisive, right? Divisive language, meaning like divided language.
Yeah.
Observers stress that this episode highlights the continuing sensitivity of immigration discourse in the United States, the potential consequences of inflammatory rhetoric, and the importance of responsible leadership, community engagement, and inclusive public policy to promote social cohesion and equitable treatment for all residents. Now, my ending discussion questions about this is why have President Trump's remarks on Somali immigrants sparked controversy? How can political rhetoric influence public attitudes and policy debates? What challenges do Somali immigrants face in the United States? What approach can promote constructive discussion and policy solutions on immigration? Let us know in the comment section. As always, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to be engaging with us so we know that you're paying attention and you're following along with us on these topics today. What do you guys think?
I mean, I'm just sick of them, like, people using the damn stereotype excuse. It's like, okay, you want to know why everyone is, like, saying about the whole stereotype? Oh, I don't know. Maybe because your nation doesn't have a government and it's run by either pirates or, every few years a warlord gets disposed by another warlord and his child army. And it's not that, and you're not the only one with a stereotype. We all know the stereotype with Mexicans. Everyone thinks they're construction workers. We all know the stereotype with British people. They have bad teeth and they can't handle spice. Everyone knows the stereotype with Germans. They over-engineer everything and they drive fast. Everyone knows the stereotype with, Indians. They fucking drive on dirt roads and, like,
Yeah, baby.
make spicy food. Like, there's stereotypes with literally everybody. Like, oh, like, I'm gonna whine and complain because I have a stereotype. No, everyone has a stereotype. It's how you perceive your stereotype and how you're gonna take it in stride. Are you gonna complain about it, or are you gonna laugh about it? Like, I hate it when people do that.
Right.
Like, and and when you only name two cities that have a significant population of your, you know, like, people from your nation, one being Minneapolis, where two, you know, U.S. like senators are currently sitting in. I'm sorry, I lose all respect for you at that point in time. One of them literally is only in the Senate because she married her brother to become an American citizen. And you think I'm joking? No, that is a legitimate fact.
Those are the facts.
And the other one is the mayor of, or not, either the mayor or the governor. I think it's the mayor of Minneapolis. Yeah. So no wonder you have a massive population of Somalians in Minneapolis. Columbus, I didn't know. That one was a new thing to me. But hey, you know, now when you compare that to, we're gonna go ahead and just say, Irish people, probably all over the Northeast, like towns all over the Northeast. Now let's go Mexicans. Probably, I'd say most of Texas, most of Nevada, most of New Mexico, most of California, you know, a, all over that area is probably a bunch of Mexicans. So they only have two cities, and they're complaining about stereotypes. Sorry, this is my TED talk that I'm very pissed about. Anyways,
You can send it out. You send it in. Go in it.
like, I just hate when people, like, complain about stereotypes and they just, ugh. It's like, there are people that have way worse stereotypes and you don't hear them complaining.
You are right. You are right. Anything you want to add, Deb?
No, I'll
All
let him
right.
have these next couple ones.
All right. All right. Well, quick ad here. Quick ad before we go to our next topic here. We're flying through them. All right, there we go. This portion of the show, it's always brought to you by Atlas Epoxy Floors. Uh, why did I just have a whole mind blank? I'm so sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. This portion of the podcast right now, ladies and gentlemen, is brought to you by Atlas Epoxy Floors. A good friend, Bradford Kelly, located in Milford, Connecticut. Uh, you can travel anywhere that you want, all the way up to upstate New York, maybe even Michigan. Go visit our good friend Wheelchair Rick. Uh, Down to Oklahoma, visiting our other good friend Dab Don, and he can do even visiting down to Red Run Velocity Modern Classics down in Pensacola, Florida, ladies and gentlemen. Bradford Kelly. Contact him at 203-496-6386 or email him at brad.kelly at atlasepoxyfloors.com. It's a lifetime warranty, ladies and gentlemen. Lifetime warranty. So if you need any floors or cabinets or whatever you need, ladies and gentlemen, he can do it for you. Garage, basement, patios. Whoops, sorry about that. Garage, basements, patios, lobbies, countertops, you name it. The man can do it all for you. Uh, Contact him again. 203-496-6386. Or you can also visit his website at atlasepoxyfloors.com. Bradford Kelly, the man, the myth, the legend. And now we're going to move on into this segment here. Topic, sorry. So global markets rally on expectations of central bank rate cuts. Global financial markets surged this week as investors reacted to growing expectations that major central banks, including the U.S. Federal Reserve, the European Central Bank, and the Bank of England, may soon begin cutting interest rates. May soon begin cutting interest rates. The optimism was fueled by recent economic data indicating a slowdown in inflation, weaker than expected manufacturing output, and signs of softening consumer demand across multiple regions. Analysts interpreted these indicators as a signal that central banks could pivot from their previous aggressive tightening cycles to more accommodative monetary policies to support economic growth. The United States, the S&P 500 and Nasdaq Composite led gains with technology and industrial sectors performing particularly strongly. European in My God, why are they writing this like this? European indices or indices, including the FTSE 100 and DAX, also posted substantial increases, while Asia markets in Tokyo, Hong Kong, and Shanghai saw robust growth. Investors flocked to equities on the expectation that lower interest rates would reduce borrowing costs for businesses, encourage investment, and stimulate consumer spending. Meanwhile, government bond yields fell sharply, reflecting the market's anticipation of looser monetary conditions and an extended period of lower yields. Commodities markets also responded to the changing sentiment. Oil prices showed modest gains as markets participants price in potential global economic stimulus that could boost demand, while while precious metals such as gold and silver remain supported as investors balance gross optimism with lingering geopolitical and inflation concerns. Currency markets experience volatility Man, I'm trying to say it quick. It's not coming out. Volatility, with the U.S. dollar weakening against major peers amid expectations that interest rate differentials could narrow if the Fed eases policy sooner than previously forecasted. Analysts caution that central banks face a delicate balancing act. While lowering rates could support growth and reduce financial stress for consumers and corporations, there is a risk of rekindling inflation or encouraging excessive risk taking in financial markets. Additionally, geopolitical uncertainties, including ongoing trade disputes, energy price fluctuations, and political developments in key economies may influence central bank decisions and investor sentiment, making the sustainability of the rally dependent on real policy moves rather than speculative expectations in the near term. In the near term, economic economists predict that markets will continue to react in coming inflation reports, employment data, central bank communications. Investors are closely watching statements from Federal Reserve officials and the ECB policymakers for indications of the timing and pace of rate cuts, while markets participants remain alert to global events that could either reinforce or undermine the rally. So my discussion questions about this: why are global markets rallying in response to potential central bank rate cuts? How do central bank policies influence different sectors of the economy? What risk do central banks face when cutting rates? And how do geopolitical economic uncertainties affect investors' sentiments? Um, Let us know in the comment section as always. What do you guys think? Hopefully, I read that as
Well, I
good as I
mean,
could. That was a big words in there.
well, I mean, everything revolves around like around the central bank. Like grain prices go up, whole world like affect grain prices in the world now are affected for the whole world. You know, suddenly like grain is going down. Like if they project, oh hey, well grain suddenly is now tanking. One country produces tons of grain. Guess what? That country their economy is going to be pretty much in shambles. See how that works?
Yes.
Like the central bank really is, they're the ones who like, and you put all this money into it, and they yeah, you're still storing all this fucking money, but like at the same time they also are like, oh hey, like you can put and be like, oh we're gonna put in like $50 million worth of grain at the time when grain will be like, oh, $1 million per pound of grain. So it's like you see how that is, and all of a sudden, then one day, they'll set it at like they realize, oh, grain's now suddenly, and it's like that. Like every commodity in the world, they set at a certain price depending on a certain thing, and people send. It's like that. So a certain country, like that's how embargoes also work. An embargo on a country that produces a certain amount of thing, they then suddenly can't get their shit to that central bank or to other countries, and said central bank is like, oh, well, they are heavy producers of said thing. It's now shit, and it's now either gone up in price or gone down, and their economy is now very weak. Like that's how embargoes work. That, and it has a mixture of plenty of other things. Yada yada yada, economic bullshit.
Sounds about right. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on now to the next topic. Air quality crisis. Hanoi and Dubai among the world's top 10 most polluted major cities today. Environmental monitoring agencies report that Hanoi and Dubai are currently among the top 10 most polluted major cities in the world, highlighting an escalating global air quality crisis. Measurements indicate that particulate matter PM 2.5 in Hanoi has soared past 160 micrograms per cubic meter, over 6 times the World Health Organization's recommended safe limit of 25 micrograms per cubic meter. Dubai, which historically experiences desert dust, recorded PM 2.5 concentrations above 120 micrograms per cubic meter, reflecting a combination of local or urban emissions and regional dust transport. In Hanoi, authorities cite a mix of industrial emission, rapid motor vehicle growth, seasonal crop burning in surrounding provinces, and stagnant atmospheric conditions as the primary drivers of extreme pollution levels. Construction dust and heavy traffic further compounds the problem. In Dubai, environmental experts highlight construction activities, urban traffic, energy sector emissions, and recurring dust storms intensified by rising regional temperatures. Both cities have issued public health advisories warning residents to minimize outdoor activities, particularly for children, the elderly, and those with pre existing respiratory conditions. The health consequences of prolonged exposure to high PM 2.5 levels are severe. Experts linked fine particulate matter to chronic respiratory disease, cardiovascular problems, reduced lung function, and increased mortality rates, and stress that even short term spikes can trigger hospitalizations and exacerbate chronic conditions. Economists point out that urban air pollution carries significant economic costs, including reduced workforce productivity, higher health care spending, and a decline in overall quality of life, emphasizing the urgent need to coordinate mitigation efforts. Globally, air pollution is uh, multifaceted. Oh my God, multifaceted. I can't speak today, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying. Um, multifaceted. Wherever that freaking word just went, now I lost it. Oh my God! Blame the docket team today. Putting there we go. Multifaceted problems with local and regional transboundary components. The crisis in Hanoi and Dubai reflects broader trends in Asia, the Middle East, and other rapidly urbanized regions, where industrial growth, energy consumption, and climate factors converge. Governments are implementing short term measures such as traffic restrictions, temporary industrial shutdowns, and public adversaries. But environmental groups stress the need for long-term policies, promoting renewable energy adoption, cleaner transportation network, urban green spaces, and stricter industrial emission standards. International organizations warn that urban air pollution is not just a local health issue, but also a global environmental challenge, contributing to climate change and regional atmospheric instability. Addressing these problems requires cooperation across cities, countries, and industries, along with sustained monitoring, regulation, and public engagement to reduce emissions and protect public health. Now, moving on to the ending discussion questions about this topic. Why are Hanoi and Dubai experiencing such high level of air pollution today? What are the health risks associated with prolonged exposure to high PM 2.5 levels? And how do air quality challenges affect urban economies and daily life? What long term strategies can cities implement to mitigate air pollution? Let us know in the comment section, everybody. As always, shout out to Eddie Weber, Red Rum Live from Velocity Modern Classics, for joining us tonight. Have a good night, dude. Thank you again for being with us tonight. And again, as always, I had something screwed up. I read the whole article without my camera on here. Sorry about that. Okay. Boys, let us know what's going. What do you guys think? Air pollution. What's up?
Um, well, I don't know so much about, at least for Hanoi, but you figure for Dubai, um, obviously the sandstorms and the fact that they are quite literally always building something new.
Yes.
So you combine those two factors, and it's gonna create some very sizable pollution. That and it's literally just centered around the car. So that you know, you have all those hypercars and everything, which are just massively just not caring about the environment. They could give two shits.
Right.
Sandstorms just blowing around anything that like it wants, covering roads, halting progress, you know, even getting in air filters to, stop like any like, oh hey, let's get rid of this, like bad air. And then there's all the construction that is continuously going on. It's not even just one building. There's multiple buildings being constructed and oftentimes even, repaired. So there's that. And then, to my knowledge, for Hanoi, they really don't have that good of, you know, like building management, like oversight type deals. So, you know, it's like, oh, hey, like, what are the cheapest materials we can use? Yeah, we'll go with those. Oh, are we gonna, like, are we just gonna build it in this crowded area? Yeah, how are we gonna make sure that it, like, no dust or anything gets up in the air? Like, no, no, we're not. Like, it's there. At least to my knowledge, that's what they're like. They really don't have the best oversight on their construction. I could be wrong. Could have improved over the past, 15 years.
Maybe. Maybe. You got anything else?
No, Devin, do you?
Nope.
All right. Before we move on to our next topic, I would like to give a shout out again to Red Rum and Velocity Modern Classics for being the sponsor of the show tonight. For contacting Velocity Modern Classics, uh, their phone number is 850-434-6769. They're located down in 15 East Quintet Road in Cantonment, Florida. Um, so they're open from Wednesday. They're open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Uh, sorry, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and they're closed Saturday and Sunday. They're open from 8 to 4:30 p.m. Make sure that if you want something old, but don't want to lose the you know, well, you're gonna maybe lose it, but if you want something old but make it look modern but still have like a rustic look, go down to Velocity Modern Classics and get yourself a whole restoration done. Um, and you won't regret it. They do great work. I'm gonna start trying to get some more pictures up, so you guys can see the work that they're doing. I think that we had a message come in uh, from Red Rum from the Velocity Modern Classics. They are working on the Fox body. They're working on a Fox body. Yep, that's what they're working on.
Mustang.
Yeah, he said. Give me a second. We reported that the tiny couple agrees. What? Okay. Yeah, they're working on that. I think he even wrote it here. Give me a second. I'll tell you more. Tell you more. Where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? Yeah, it's a Fox body and a 68 F-250 crew cab that were never built before, so no pick other than the concept for that. So yeah, they're working on that Fox body. We'll be also making an appearance, or already made the Fox body already made an appearance at the convention in Las Vegas last month. I think it was last month or in October. It's called the SEMA convention. They had the
Holy shit, SEMA?
yeah. The Fox body already made an appearance at SEMA convention, but they made a couple adjustments. Yeah, Velocity Modern Classics is involved with SEMA. We'll be talking about this
Jay,
more as we go.
I don't think you understand how big it is to be at SEMA.
Well, it's pretty big. We talk about it on the other show.
Dude, it's essentially the fucking like Grammys for cars.
Yes, yes. Our good friend Eddie Weber works for Velocity Modern Classics, who are involved in the SEMA conventions every year. And because we have done so good on advertising Eddie Weber in Velocity Modern Classics, they have moved up Eddie Weber, and he's making $3 more now that he was making before. So he's making some good freaking money right now down in Pensacola. So make sure to again contact Velocity Modern Classics, and as we keep up with the Post Malone vehicle, the Fox body. Again, one more time, the phone number for Velocity Modern Classics is 850-434-6769, and they're located again in 15 East Quintet Road in Cantonment, Florida. Hell yeah. Shout out to Velocity Modern Classics, and again, Eddie Weber. Thank you so much. Now we're going to move back to the topics here, ladies and gentlemen. Strong geomagnetic storm warning, chance to see northern lights. Scientists have issued a strong geomagnetic storm warning following the observation of significant coronal mass ejection, this CME, from the sun. This solar event is expected to interact with, man, so sorry. The solar event is expected to interact with Earth's magnetosphere over the next 24 to 48 hours, producing a G3 level geomagnetic storm classified as a strong on the NOAA geomagnetic scale. While such storms are relatively uncommon, they provide a rare opportunity for sky watchers to witness intensified northern lights displays, potentially visible at latitudes much farther south than usual. Forecasts suggest that auroras could be observed across Canada, Scandinavia, Alaska, and potentially even parts of the continental United States and Central Europe. Depending on local weather conditions and light pollution, the enhanced auroral activity is the result of charged solar particles colliding with Earth's atmosphere, energizing gases and creating vivid displays of green, red, and purple light. Experts emphasize that the current solar cycle, which is approaching its peak solar maximum, contributes to the increased frequency and intensity of such geomagnetic events. While the storm efforts spectacular natural phenomena It also carries potential risks. High latitude infrastructure, including power grids, satellites, aviation communications, and GPS navigation systems, may experience temporary disruptions. Airlines operations, polar routes have been advised to monitor geomagnetic activity and adjust flight paths if necessary. Telecommunication providers are assessing potential interference with radio and satellite signals. Scientists continue to monitor the storm in real time using satellites and ground-based mag- magneto magnetometers to track the CME's speed, density, and orientation, which determines the severity of its impact. The public response has been significant, with social media and scientific organization um, encouraging safe observation and photography of the auroras. The event highlights the growing interests in space weather, solar science, um, and solar science, while also underscoring the need of preparedness. Experts warn that while this storm is strong, even more extreme solar events could pose serious threats to global technology infrastructure in the future, making investment in monitoring systems, predictive models, and infrastructure resilience critical. Now, discussing questions about this, what are the causes? Um, oh my gosh, what causes strong geomagnetic storms, and how do they affect Earth? Why might the northern lights be visible at usually low latitude during the storm? How can infrastructure and technology be impacted by geomagnetic storms? What strategies can improve public safety and preparedness for solar storms? Let us know in the comment section again. Make sure that if you're living in some place that you're near that, make sure you go outside, take some pictures. Maybe a good friend here, Dab Dunn, can go outside tonight and send us some nice pictures because it's snowing up here in the north. So hopefully our good friend down there can give us some pictures and we can post them or something on our shorts. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna move it now to our good friends here to answer our questions here if they got any answers.
Well, I don't exactly know what causes them, but I do know that the G3, that's about the average that you're gonna ever want for, things to see. Uh, at least produce the wonderful auroras and color, the colors in the sky that you're gonna see. Because if you get any higher than that, you're gonna start getting, fucked real hard. Excuse my language. Uh, Screwed over.
Oh, as we get
Because
better as
if
we
you
go
get
by.
it, because if you get a G4, um, you're going to start having things like uh radios, satellites, um, electronics, phones, and stuff like that go out for couple hours. Um, Electrical grids, they'll be out for like tops 30 minutes. Things will just they'll get screwy. Your like daily life will be interrupted for hour and a half at most, but it'll be pretty bad. And again, you'll see the pretty little lights. Now, the bad one, which is the highest level you can get, is a G5. This has only happened 3 times, or well, 4 times in the history of it being recorded. 1859, the Carrington event, which is apparently the worst one. 2003, known as the Halloween lights or nights, one of the two, if I'm correct, seeing here. I will give you the exact name. Let me go down. To the Halloween storms. In October of 2003. The most recent one
Sorry about that.
was May 10th to the 11th of 2024. So last year. Um, so if if we have a G5, which has already happened, this is what you will have. Widespread disruptions to modern technology, including widespread power grid issues and potential blackouts that could last for weeks or months. It will lead to satellite malfunctions, degradation of GPS and radio navigation systems, and pose an elevated radiation risk to high-flying aircraft and astronauts. High-frequency radio communication systems can be disrupted. High-altitude flights may need to be rerouted due to increased radiation risk for passengers and crew. Pipeline fluctuations can induce currents in pipelines, which could affect their operations. Animals which use the Earth's magnetic field for navigation can also be disrupted. And obviously, like I said before, radiation storms create an increased radiation risk for unprotected humans, especially astronauts and those on high altitude flights. So yeah, G5 is not one that you want to encounter. Thankfully, since even G3s are very rare, G5s are exceptionally rare. So you will most likely never encounter a G5, so be prepared that we're only going to encounter the G3 with the pretty little lights.
And that is it, folks. And that is that. And that is that. The day that we witness the G5 will be death. Maybe.
Well, no, considering, last year we've already seen a G5.
I know, I'm just joking. Dramatic
But I
effect.
mean, if it's a big G5, just remember, don't kill anyone during those G5s. Otherwise, if we're still alive when that happens, bad things will happen. Dun dun.
Ah, you should have told me. I could have had that ready.
Oh, then do it. Then do it.
Revelation. You just... What the heck? Let's see, where is it? Where the heck is it? It was right
Oh,
here.
hold on, docket team. Rearrange some things on him.
Yeah, they did. They did. Oh my god.
Let me know when you have it. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. There we go. That one sounds better. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're moving now to our eighth topic. That's a little warning for you guys. Eighth topic here. Holiday streaming boom. December 2025 sees packed release slate on streaming services. As of December 2025, this month is shaping up to be a record-breaking month for streaming services as platforms worldwide release an unprecedented slate of movies, series, and holiday specials. Major players, including Netflix, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime Video, HBO Max, and Apple TV Plus, have rolled out a mix of original content, franchise continuations, and exclusive specials, aimed at capturing the increased viewership during the year and holiday season. Analysts note that these releases are designed to capitalize on peak leisure time. when audiences are more likely to binge watch multiple titles, driving engagement metrics and subscriber retention. The surge is fueled by several converging factors. Changing consumer behavior post pandemic has accelerated reliance on streaming for entertainment. With audiences increasingly favoring on demand viewing over traditional theo- theatrical audiences. The theoretical. I just said the word theoretical. Theatrical releases. Hopefully, I said that right. Theatrical releases. Platforms are also competing aggressively for subscribers' attention, leading to hefty investments in high-budget productions that rival or in some cases surpass the scale of major studio films. Marketing campaigns are highly targeted, leveraging data-driven algorithms, social media influencers, and multi-platforms promotions to create anticipation and maximize audience engagement. Streaming platforms are also increasingly blurring the line between theatrical and digital first releases, offering early access to blockbuster films and leveraging holiday themed series to appeal to family audiences. Analysts point out that the December 2025 slate reflects a strategic push to not only to dominate during the holidays but also to set trends for 2026, including faster production cycles, international market expansion, and the integration of interactive or immersive content formats. However, the boom present potential challenges. Critics warn that viewer fatigue, content oversaturation, and rising subscription costs may strain consumer engagement and could impact long-term retention. Despite these concerns, streaming services continue to refine algorithms for personalized recommendations, enabling platforms to maintain viewer attention and extract insights on audience preferences. Economists suggest that the holiday streaming boom will have far-reaching effects on global entertainment economics, influencing production budgets, content licensing, and cross-platforms competitions for years to come. My ending discussion questions about this. What factors are driving the holiday streaming boom in December 2025? How are streaming services adapting their content strategies to maximize engagement? What potential challenges could arise from high volume releases? How might this holiday streaming boom influence the entertainment industry in 2026 and beyond? Ladies and gentlemen, as always, let us know in the comment section what you guys think. Boys, what do you think?
Um, I'm not entirely sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, all I'm going to say is I'm not going to answer any of these questions. I'm going to tell you this. Yes, we have here in the house Netflix, Disney Plus with the Hulu bundle crap, which Hulu's not going to be no longer around next year. So everything's going to be moved to Disney Plus. And then, what else do we have? I think that's it. We got rid of HBO. We got rid of Peacock. That's pretty much it, I think, if I'm not
Hold on,
mistaken.
did you just say you were only gonna have Hulu Plus, not Disney Plus?
I said that Hulu will be leaving next year. So right now, what we do have is Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Disney Plus with the Hulu bundle. But Hulu next year is gone. Like we're closing
Yeah, because I was gonna say
Hulu.
because that's getting mixed in with Disney Plus.
Correct. It's getting mixed in.
Yeah, I was about to say
Disney
in
Plus.
case you didn't know that.
Yeah.
For all those in chat who don't know that, those Disney's mixing Hulu Plus in with itself.
Correct. Ladies and gentlemen, we're heading to the one before the very last topic, and then we're going to move it over to our good friends Dabdon and Revelation to their own topics that they got going on. But for now, we're going to move to this topic here. Astronomical events, the cold moon. Okay, so we got, okay, now I get what we're doing here. So, astronomical events happening tonight. The cold moon is going to be in full effect tonight. It will be the last full moon and supermoon of 2025. Peaks tonight, actually, as well. Um, Tonight, skywatchers across the globe have a rare opportunity to witness the cold moon, the last full moon of 2025, which coincides with the supermoon, of course, when the moon reaches its closest point to Earth during the full phase. This alignment makes the moon appear up to 14% larger, right? 14% larger and 30% brighter than a typical full moon, creating a spectacular visual display visible from most inhabited regions. The cold moon derives its name from traditional folklore in both Native American and European cultures, marking the frigid uh, midwinter period at that in the northern hemisphere. Observers can expect the moon to illuminate landscapes more intensely than usual, providing ideal conditions for photography, amateur astronomy, and cultural rituals that celebrate the full moon's seasonal significance. Significance. The supermoon also highlights lunar. Mother of God, am I? Let me know in the comment section if I'm taking too long to read, or am I just mispronouncing words? Let me know in the comments. The supermoon also highlights lunar surface features, including craters in Maria, which are more noticeable through binoculars, or telescopes. Meteorologists and astronomers advise that if optimal viewing conditions include clear skies and locations with minimal light pollution. Urban residents are encouraged to travel to darker rural areas to fully appreciate the moon's size and brightness. Many astronomers organizations, planetariums, and online platforms are offering live streams, virtual tours, and observation guides, encouraging citizens, scientists, participation in educational engagement worldwide. While primarily a visual and cultural spectacle, the supermoon has subtle scientific and environmental effects. It can cause slightly higher tidal ranges, and influence nocturnal wildlife activity, and even affect human circadian rhythms in minor ways due to brighter nighttime illumination. Researchers emphasize that observing these phenomena provides valuable opportunities for public education, fostering interest in astronomy, physics, and environmental sciences. The event underscores the interplay between natural phenomena, cultural traditions, and scientific curiosity, offering a unique chance to connect communities worldwide through shared observation and appreciation of the night sky. Experts stress that while supermoons are not uncommon, this particular alignment, the final full moon of 2025, coinciding with lunar uh, perigee, makes it one of the most visually striking lunar events of the year. Now, my ending discussion questions about this: what makes the cold moon a supermoon, and how does it differ from a regular full moon? Well, a supermoon occurs when the moon is at its closest point to Earth during full moon, making it appear significantly larger and brighter than a typical full moon. Next question is: why is the last full moon of the year called the cold moon? The name reflects traditional folklore associated with frigid temperatures of the midwinter in the northern hemisphere, and has historically and culturally significance in many societies. Question 3: how does a supermoon subtly affect natural phenomena on Earth? Supermoons can influence tidal patterns, nocturnal wildlife activity, and minor aspects of human circadian rhythms due to increased night illumination. And number 4: how can people best observe and appreciate this astronomical event? Optimal viewing involves clear skies, ladies and gentlemen, minimal light pollution, and in the use of binoculars or telescopes, while participating in live streams as well, citizen science projects, and educational programs enhances engagement and learning. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, always interact with us in the comment section. Let us know if you're going to be outside tonight looking at the moon or looking at the auroras. Um, Hell
So
yeah.
that's the cold moon, right?
Yeah, that's the cold moon. Yep.
So I actually have some info on that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna move it over right now to Revelation for the info, and then the next topics that he's going.
So, a cold moon is actually a nickname for a full moon that occurs closest to the winter solstice in December. A name that is reflecting of the chilly temperatures of the season of the northern hemisphere. Also known as the long night moon because it happens near the longest night of the year. Obviously, other traditional names from various cultures also reference this very same thing. There's seasonal timing, name tied to the time of year. Full moon occurs in December. Obviously, just touched on that. The location of the sky, because the full moon happens near the winter solstice, which is the shortest day of the year. It appears higher in the night sky than any other full moon during the year. Then you have your traditional names. Various indigenous American and European cultures have given the December full moon traditional names that reflect the harsh cold weather and long nights. We have three of them right here. We have Long Night Moon Mohican, that tribe, according to Live Science. Then we have Moon of the Popping Trees from the Oglala, according to the Old Farmer's Almanac. Then we have the Frost Exploding Trees Moon from the Cree tribe, also according to the Old Farmer's Almanac. I don't think there is any other info other than that I'm able to find. So, yeah.
Did you know that the oh wait, sorry, let me get myself up. Did you guys know that the Farmer's Almanac uh won't be doing another almanac again?
That's actually a false story. There is two farmers' almanacs. The oldest farmer's almanac, the OG one, is still doing it. There was a secondary farmer's almanac. That is the one that is not being printed anymore.
The old
Because everyone immediately thought of the original farmer's almanac as not being made anymore. But it's they had to go on their official Twitter account. Yeah, I know, weird that the official Farmer's Almanac has a Twitter's account, and they had to confirm, no, hey, we did not know that people were, saying that we're not going to be printing anymore. No, there is a secondary Farmer's Almanac. Uh, they are the ones that are not printing anymore. We are still going to be printing, and we also have an online version. We will never stop giving you information. So yeah, just that little tidbit right there to make sure everyone's informed.
Yep, yep. So yeah, it does say here the old Farmer's Almanac, the yellow cover, original from 1792 publication, will continue publishing. They are still producing annual print editions. The 2026 edition is coming this fall, which it already did. Digital content on their website and apps, seasonal forecast, gardening advice, astronomy info, life tips. Oh, sorry, lifestyle tips, etc. So yeah, in short, it's still gonna be ongoing strong. Unlike the main based farmers Almanac, which is the orange cover, which is ending after its 2026 edition. So yeah, we got that, ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen.
that one believe started in like 1849 or 1851 when
Yep.
that one started.
Yep. But we're gonna send it now to Revelation on his topics that he's got tonight, and then after Revelation, we're gonna send it to uh oh well after Revelation's done, send it back to me, and then we're gonna push forward to this big major topic that me and Deb got in store tonight.
Yeah, so 'cause I actually have some they're fairly short.
Go
So
ahead, go ahead. This
um
portion of the podcast is always brought to you by Atlas Epoxy Floors. Make sure to contact Bradford Kelly at 203-496-6386 or contact him through email, brad.kelly@atlasepoxyfloors.com. Go ahead, buddy.
so for those of you who in chat who have ever watched wrestling, 90s, early 2000s, that time period, I'm sure the name Rikishi is very familiar with you.
Yes.
Well, he is the father of one of the modern day wrestlers, uh, uh, well, two actually, Jimmy and Jey Uso. Well, he's been very vocal these past couple years about, oh, hey, my nephews didn't get this opportunity because of so and so, or my sons didn't get this opportunity because of so and so, etc., etc. He's been doing this for like the past, well, um, one of his sons didn't. He got screwed out of an opportunity to face John Cena on his farewell tour, and so he then went and said, "Oh, uh, the WWE went and screwed my son out of it, you know, the match that he deserves, blah 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 blah." And tons of people, normally people would be backing said person up because of, hey, said company's done stupid, scummy crap like this before, but uh, it's one of those now, uh, like, uh, like, what's the situation I'm looking for? I don't know, but basically he's done this so many times that people are like, dude, nobody cares. Like, unless you have solid proof and you have like three or four other people when you say this to immediately follow up, we're just gonna immediately think you're just bullshitting. You've said stuff like this like 25 times without actual solid proof, and it's always been about just your family.
Right.
You haven't even like come out and said like positive things to defend other people. Like, so yeah, it's he was just basically just trying to he always tries to get extra shots for his family, which is sad because he used to be a really good, wrestler and mentor for other people, and is now just trying to use his name to help his own family. But on that note, I am going to move into something that I believe could really affect everyone. Um, I don't know if anyone knows the like those little like I think they're like 6,000, no, not like 5,000 pound vehicles, like the K cars.
Yeah.
Um, well, you gotta like build and shit. I usually call them IKEA cars because they're, obviously you gotta build those shits yourself. But so a lot of states they're illegal because you know manufacturers when they were initially brought in, they cut into manufacturers' profits quite a bit because they are more fuel efficient, et cetera, reasons that, and you know, big three were like, hey, no, that's bad. We'll give you states money if you just outright illegal, like make these illegal. And obviously, a couple states were like, no, these are good for our people. Well, Trump basically said, no, fuck you guys. These are legal across every state. They're good for the people. So I don't care what's gonna happen. Everybody needs to be able to have access to these, even if they are slightly more expensive than what they originally were. So that's good news if people are looking for, alternate methods of transportation and, necessarily don't have the money to afford a, full-blown used car. Or let's say you are looking for, a car to give to your kid because it's their first car, because they just got their driver's license. Boom, they now have a brand new vehicle and it's, reliable, good on gas mileage, etc. Right there. So, what are your guys' opinions on that one?
What do you got, Deb?
Do do do
Deb, you
do do
there?
do. I think he fell asleep. Anyways, what's your
Oh
opinion?
my god. Well, to be honest with you, I was doing something, so I missed the segment.
You rat bastard. Anyways, let's move on to.
Deb is supposed to be next. He was supposed to be the backup on that, and then
Oh my
and then I
god.
would have. Oh god, Deb. Oh my god, I didn't let it run. I should have let that run. Ladies and gentlemen, I guess we don't have Deb, so we're gonna move on to the last little bit of the segment. Dab, you there? Dabio. He might be having internet issues, because of the aurora and the new moon. No, nothing. Anything? All right. Well, I guess we're going to move now into the global spotlight. Tonight is going to be on disability rights, International Day for Persons with Disabilities. Today, which, this show started on Wednesday, it's now Thursday because we start the show so late. But today marks the International Day of Persons with Disabilities. A United Nations. Are you back? Hello?
Huh?
Are you back?
Hey, you're back.
I'm having issues tonight.
You must be having issues with your internet because of the auroras,
Mm-hmm.
because of the magnetic field.
Yep.
Well, where was I? Like I said, today marks the International Day of Persons with Disabilities, a United Nations designated observance aimed at raising awareness about the rights, dignity, and well being of people living with disabilities worldwide. The day emphasizes the importance of inclusive societies, equal access to education, employment, healthcare, and social services, and the need to dismantle barriers that prevent full participation in public life. This year's theme, inclusion, accessibility, and empowerment, highlights ongoing efforts to create environments that support equal opportunities for individuals with disabilities. In both developed and developing nations, governments, NGOs, and advocacy groups are organizing events. Are organizing events, webinars, and campaigns to showcase success stories in innovative accessibility solutions and policy advancements that promote social and economic inclusion. Despite progress in certain regions, global reports indicate that people with disabilities continue to face disproportionate challenges, including higher rates of unemployment, limited access to education, social stigma, and barriers to healthcare. International organizations stress that accessibility is not only human rights issue but also a driver of economic and social development, as inclusive policies allow societies to fully leverage the talents and contributions of all citizens. Technology and digital innovation are increasingly playing a key role in empowering individuals with disabilities. Assistive devices, adaptive learning platforms, and inclusive digital workplaces are enabling greater independence and participation, while advocacy efforts pushed for universal design principles that consider the needs of all people in urban planning, transportation, and public infrastructure. This observance serves as a reminder that achieving meaningful inclusion requires ongoing commitment from governments, corporations, and civil
How many
society,
more articles you
and
got?
individuals, fostering a global culture where people with disabilities have equitable opportunities to thrive and contribute. This is it. Now I'm going to the ending discussion questions. Why is the International Day of Persons with Disability important for global awareness? Well, it highlights the rights, dignity, and well-being of people living with disabilities and promoting understanding and societal inclusion worldwide. What challenges do people with disabilities still face globally? Well, they often encounter higher unemployment, limited educational access, healthcare barriers, social stigma, of course, and environmental obstacles that restrict full participation in society. How can technology and digital innovation support disability inclusion? Well, assistive devices, adaptive learning platforms, inclusive workplaces, and universal design principles empower individuals with disabilities, enhancing independence and access to opportunities, and many more things. What actions can government organizations and communities take to promote equal opportunity? Well, they can implement exclusive policies, enforcing accessibility standards, raising public awareness, and fostering a culture of acceptance are critical for ensuring that people with disabilities can participate fully in society. Um, and that's it. That's all I got. Revelation, you hear about the USS Gerald Ford?
Yeah.
Rev, you there?
Yep, I am.
Oh, why did I say Rev? Dab, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Dab, did you
What's
also
up?
hear about the USS Gerald Ford? I don't know if Revelation knows about it, where it's at right now.
I think he does. We discussed about it last time.
He wasn't in the show. It
Yeah,
was
he
just
was.
I mean, I
no.
keep track of it.
I mean, I know he keeps track of it, but he wasn't in the show with
Maybe
us when
chat
we did
doesn't
the
know.
Yeah, he
second
was.
special.
He was here Monday. He was here Monday.
No,
You
when you
guys,
you came in at the very end and we ended
yeah,
the
and I had to
show.
leave,
Yeah, he
but
had to leave, and then
that
you and
doesn't
I.
mean chat doesn't currently know.
Oh, Chad knows what's up. Chad knows
How do
what's
you
up.
know? What if somebody joined and didn't know? You gotta let them know.
Okay, well
You
let
don't
him
leave
know.
chatters out of the loop.
Dab, let him know. Dab, let him know. For those who don't know.
Basically, long story short, Gerald R. Ford Strike Group is sitting just south of the Virgin Islands.
Indeed, here I'm
Long
about to
story
bring it
short.
up right now. Right now, the boat, ladies and gentlemen, the boat is in incognito mode currently.
It'd be big boat.
It'd be a big boat. Here you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
It'd be big boat you don't want to touch.
It's right here. It's right here. This big boat right here. Chilling.
But
Chilling.
Chilling like a villain.
If you go into earthcams.com, you're going to search Virgin Islands, and it's sitting in St. Thomas. St. Thomas.
Frenchman's Cove is the one you're going to want to look for.
Indeed. You want to go into the camera. It's called the Frenchman's Cove cam. I'm trying to open now. Let's see if I got if I took a screenshot of it. There we go. Yeah, I got a screen. I actually found a screenshot of it. I took of it yesterday or the day before yesterday. I don't even know what day it is anymore, ladies and gentlemen. This is it? No, that's not it. 1 second. Gotta change it. All right, there it is. The USS Gerald Ford, everybody. This picture was taken Tuesday at 10:09 a.m. It's been there for a few days now. That's for sure, right? For a few days? It's been there since the weekend. It's now Wednesday. There are directly, literally, they're facing the direction to go to Caracas, Venezuela. I think Venezuela. Can you check your flight radar and share your screen? Is Venezuela still having a flight?
Actually, yes, they are.
They are. Yeah, they still having a flight deterrence. Is that what it would be called? Or no flights
It'd be
allowed?
no fly zone.
No fly zone right now over Venezuela, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you know about that, but that's what's happening right now. Let's see if our good friend Dabdon.
It should be up. I should be sharing it already.
There we go, everybody. Look at that. As you can see, Venezuela does have. Oh my God, what was the word again?
No fly zone.
No fly zone, everybody. No fly zone over Venezuela right now. This is live right now. This is on the website called flightradar24.com if you want to see some more and do your own research, everybody.
But yeah.
But that's what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. Anything else, Dab? Anything else?
I'm ready for bed. I got an interview tomorrow.
Ladies and gentlemen, our good friend Dabdon has an interview. Wish him good luck.
I'm ready for bed. Let's shut this down and.
Oh, you're leaving?
Let's shut this down. So.
I know.
On that note, I will switch over to the Daily Reminder.
Daily Reminder. We missed it on Monday. Ladies and gentlemen, Daily Reminder.
The Daily Reminder, everyone, is in the video game Call of Duty Ghosts, as a United States Marine member, you invade the capital of Venezuela, which is Caracas.
Now that deserves a little bit of.
I remember that. That is true. The flashback is the flashback is the invasion. The flashback mission is the invasion of Caracas. Didn't it flash back to 2025?
Yeah.
Didn't it flash back to 2025?
I can look it up real fast.
Now, is that conspiracy or not? Anyway, while a good friend Revelation looks up the that information, I'm gonna give you my last and final sponsor. Even though we're gonna do the roundup of all the sponsors at the end, um, this portion of the show is always brought to you by producer Mike Presents and the Jessup Show Legacy channel, where me, Jey Morales, is involved in the channel as a co-host. Check us out on The Movement. The podcast is called The Movement on the channel Producer Mike Presents and the Jessup Show Legacy. We're on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, ladies and gentlemen. So come on down, check us out. And I promise you, you won't want to miss it. It's hilarious banter. We go watch the cameras around the world. We play some games now where we're getting the audience involved, playing with us. Simple games like Battleship, Connect Four, and such things like that. So come on down, hang out with us, and yeah, yeah. You got that up, buddy?
2027.
Okay, so
Although some people say it's late 2026.
I mean, it's 2026 now, practically. They ain't gonna bomb anybody right now. They're gonna wait until everything is nice and done. And Happy New Year.
Although it also said there were special forces teams already in and around Caracas.
Well, I can tell you this. Me and Dab did some research, and all those boats out there that are military boats, they're all in incognito mode right now. You can't see them.
Well, yeah, because the military is the only one who it doesn't have to have their trackers turned on.
Yep. Like we only found out that the USS Gerald Ford was down there due to other people posting about it, and then we went and had to find it through Earth cams, and we found it there. If you go down and search through Google Virgin Islands and you try to find Charlotte, Amelia, Virgin Islands, or Frenchman's Cove cam, those are the two best shots of the of USS Gerald Ford.
Let us get Dabby Doo here off the bed.
Yes, yes. Again, everybody, this portion of the show of our ending, before I give you the ending here, is always brought to you by, again, producer Mike Presents. The show is the movement show is always airing on Tuesdays. Oh yeah, that's right. Why am I working so hard? Give me a second, ladies and gentlemen. I'm working way too freaking hard right now for no freaking reason. I got a better one for you. Here we go. You ready? Here we go. This portion of the show is brought to you by the Cayville Hotel and Tavern, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, they're open from Wednesdays to Sunday, 4 to 9. Wednesday and Thursday, Friday 4 to 10, Saturday 12 to 10, Sunday 12 to 8. They're located in 2647 Heidelberg Avenue, Kleinfeltersfeld, PA, zip code 17039. Phone number is 717-949-8413 if you need reservations or you have any questions. Also, the next sponsor is Atlas Epoxy Floors. Again, our friend Bradford Kelly, located in Milford, Connecticut, does epoxy floors. He works on garages, basements, patios, lobby, countertops, you name it, whatever you need, wherever you are, he will be there. Contact him again at 203-496-6386, or also you can email him at brad.kelly@Atlas Epoxy Floors, or also visit his website at atlasepoxyfloors.com. He is CEO of the company, so he is the main owner of the company, so you'll be talking to the main man, the myth, the legend, Bradford Kelly. And I promise you, he is a very awesome guy, done a lot of trades. Make sure to contact him for that. The next and final sponsor of the show is Red Rum and Velocity Modern Classics. Again, I would like to give my gratitude to Red Rum and Velocity Modern Classics this evening because they have been sending merch over our way. The hat that I'm wearing today and the hat that I wore on Monday as well. So thank you very much again to the guys. Have yourselves a very good Christmas over there. Now, to finally end the show, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to wrap it up of episode 29 of Unbound. Tonight, we navigated a world in flux from the controversial U.S. Maritime strikes in the Pacific and the human rights questions they raise, to Vladimir Putin's strategy visit to India and the stalled U.S. Russia peace talks in Ukraine. We explored the domestic fallout from President Trump's remarks on the Somali immigrants, the optimism driving global markets on potential rate cuts, and the urgent air quality crisis in Hanoi and Dubai. We also turned our eyes to the skies with a strong geomagnetic storm creating a rare chance to see the northern lights tonight, and the spectacular cold moon, supermoon illuminating the sky also as well tonight. Entertainment fans got a peek at the holiday streaming boom while we reflected on the International Day of Persons with Disability and ongoing global efforts to make inclusions and accessibility a reality. No matter where you are in the world, these stories show just how interconnected our politics, environment, science, and cultural have become. Thanks for joining me. Man, I'm getting emotional. Yay! No, I'm just joking. Thanks for joining me. I'm Jey Morales, my co-host Revelation, as well as my special guest, as always, DabDom0110. Stay informed, stay curious, keep asking the questions that matter, because here on Unbound, we don't just report the news, we unpack it. And before we sign off, as always, we want to take a moment to highlight some critical issues that often fly over the radar. Mental health and domestic violence across the globe. Millions struggle in silence, whether coping with stress, trauma, or unsafe home environments. It's just a reminder that while we cover international headlines, local realities matters just as much. If you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, you can call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233. For mental health support, reach out to the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. If you're in the U.S., both services are confidential, free, and available 24/7. Remember, awareness is the first step forward or step toward change. Here on Unbound, we not only unpack the world's headlines, we also remind you to take care of yourself and your community. So with that, stay safe, stay supported, and keep asking the questions that matter. With that, I'm going to tell the boys to say their goodbyes.
Good night, guys.
You all, stay safe. Have a good night.
Have a good night, everybody. Merry Christmas. And we'll catch you on Friday, 10:30 Eastern. Peace. I would like to thank those that were on tonight on the views in the chat. I would like to thank Ray RMR, Jojo, Eddie Weber, Red Rum Live, Jose, Anthony. Man, so many people tonight. John Good, We also had Meat Daughter. Shout out to Meat Daughter. I think that's the Stolers. Shout out to the Stolers. Orion. Shout out to you, man. Thank you for always coming by. Another Jose. What's going on, Jose? Thank you for coming. Richard. Thank you for joining. Anthony M. You guys have a good evening. We'll catch you on Friday again, 10:30 Eastern Time. Make sure to be ready because we're going to come back with daily reminders and many more. And remember, this show is